Over the years, many different countries have instituted and abolished policies concerning their armed forces in order to make sure they are fully equipped to deal with the events of the times. For example, the United States reserves the right to place a military draft into effect that calls on and requires able-bodied men to serve their country. Other countries like South Korea have a 2-year mandatory military service act still in place. In an effort to defend Russia from Germany, Joseph Stalin would issue the Order Number 227 in World War II. Be sure to stay tuned. On July 28th of 1942, the People's Commissar of Defense, Joseph Stalin, issued Order Number 227. This was in response to the alarming advances by Germany into Russian territory. Stalin was scrambling for troops, and in an effort to hold the lines, this order was put into place. There are 3 main statutes that encompass this order. The first was that no commander had the right to retreat his forces without a direct order to do so. If a commander broke this instruction, they were subject to military tribunal. Another provision in Order Number 227 was that each front of the war must create 1 to 3 penal battalions that consisted of men accused of disciplinary problems. These battalions were sent to the most dangerous sections of the front lines. Basically, they ended up being body shields to protect those who were more worthy of life. 427,910 soldiers would be assigned to these penal battalions between 1942 and 1945. The third statute of Order Number 227 was that each army had to create blocking detachments to shoot panicked soldiers who were trying to flee their post. By October of 1942, this procedure was quietly dropped as more and more generals felt it was a waste of troops and manpower that could be used elsewhere. The slogan, "Not one step backwards," was later attached to this order by Soviet resistance, as the idea of moving away from combat would get you killed as well. Russia lost a lot of lives to defend herself, and it makes me wonder how many of those lives would have been spared if this order never existed. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of That Was History. I hope you learned something interesting with today's crazy topic. Anyways, feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so, and you can visit us at the links below to follow us on our social media sites. Be sure to come back tomorrow and see what Jeremy's up to for the 29th. I'll see you later.